Hello. So in this video, we're going to go over a basic introduction to the Thailand University Application Portfolio. And of course, our goal is that by the end of this video, you should be able to identify and explain all of the required elements of this portfolio. So let's start by talking about the background of this portfolio. So what you are doing is you are putting together all of these documents, and this portfolio is going to be used to apply to universities in Thailand. This is especially important if you're applying at international programs at those top universities like Chulalongkorn, Mahidol, and Thammasat. Some of these universities have very, very specific portfolio requirements. Some of them are a little bit more broad and encompassing. And so as you work on this, you're going to work on putting together the basic elements. And then when you have a clear idea of the university that you're applying to and the program that you're applying to, it should be easy for you to make any necessary edits for your portfolio to fit that program's specific requirements. So when we talk about a portfolio, what that means is we're compiling a collection of artifacts, a collection of evidence. And so your portfolio, in addition to a beautifully designed cover, you're going to need a resume, a personal statement, and then you're going to have several sections that briefly describe your accomplishments during your high school career. And then for many of those things, you're going to want to include supporting images. So let's go talk in a little bit more detail about that necessary content. What should your portfolio include? Well, you need a cover with a well-chosen image. Obviously, your name needs to be on this thing. And you should probably include, if you know, the university and the program that you'll be applying for. For our purposes right now in this unit, if you don't know, that's okay. You should have a well-designed resume that showcases your academic and your personal achievements. We've already written and produced a resume, so if you've done a good job, then it should be fairly easy for you to transfer that information over into your portfolio. You should have a 600 to 700 word personal statement that explains why you've chosen this particular major and how you've prepared for it. This is going to be kind of similar to the UCAS personal statement that's written for applying to schools in the UK, but it should focus on, it's a little bit more of a why major essay. It's kind of in between those two. Why do you want to study this? How have you prepared? And maybe for good measure, a little bit of why this university as well. Following that, you need a section with your academic achievements, including images of any awards. So if you've received high honors for any particular semester during high school, you should scan and include images of those awards. If you have won any Thailand local, regional, national honors through the examination series, you should include those. If you've received any awards from your teachers, if you've completed any academic activities outside of school and received a certificate, those images should all appear in your portfolio. You'll want to include a section with your community service activities, and again, pictures or certificates, and a section for any internships, leadership experiences, or extracurricular activities. Some of you will have these, some of you won't. Some of you may work on doing some of these things this year as a junior, and you'll need to go back and update your portfolio next year before you send it to the university. That's okay. Let's shift our thinking a little bit to talk about the context. Let's talk about the why of this essay. And I guess it's not really an essay, but the why of this portfolio. Well, just like any other university application essay, if you're writing a Common App essay or a UCAS essay or the autobiographical essay for Taiwan or China, they're all basically a commercial. This is how you are selling yourself to this university. This is how you are advertising who you are and why they should choose you. I do want to caution you, choose your achievements, your skills, and your activities wisely. I want you to think back and maybe even go back and review the things that you wrote in your brag sheet and in your college essay essentials brainstorming activities, and make sure that the student that you represented there and the individual human being that you represented there, make sure that you see that same person represented in your portfolio. I want to make very, very clear, this is not a 5-paragraph essay. You guys have been writing 5-paragraph essays, intro, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion for many, many years. This is not that. You're going to write primarily straightforward, nonfiction informational text, both in the short descriptions of those activities as well as in your main personal statement. This is not a storytelling essay like the Common App. You may have short sections of narrative where you talk about experiences that you've had that have impacted you, but that should not be the overall focus of your writing in this document. And I think this one is especially important. Be sure to give plenty of details and examples to prove your point. Include as many images, as many certificates, as many awards as you can. The portfolio is your opportunity not to just tell readers about your skills and activities. Show them. Give them visual documentation of all the things that you have done and achieved. So let's review. By now you should be able to explain the required content of a Thailand portfolio. What sections? What information are we including? You should be able to talk a little bit about the context, the why of this portfolio. Why is it important? What are we trying to achieve with this? And then lastly, you should be able to talk a little bit about the composition, the organization, the how of the portfolio. What are we doing? What are we not doing in our writing in this particular document? And if you can do all of those things, then you're ready to move on to the next step. And that next step is annotating a sample portfolio. This is going to be a little bit more difficult than annotating the other essays. You may need Cami, or you may have to do some screenshotting in order to make this work. But I do want you to go to the unit overview document and click on the link that will take you to the annotation guidelines. Then you can go to the sample portfolios folder. There are not many to choose from. I think there are only 2 that I've had the opportunity to scan and upload so far. May get more as the year goes on, I'm not sure. And so you're going to follow those annotation guidelines to kind of identify each section of the portfolio and look at how these students have constructed these portfolios and how they have shown, and not just told, the admissions counselors who they are, and why they're a good fit for this program. As always, if you have any questions, if you're having any trouble, please ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer. You may work on these annotations individually or with a partner, but please, everyone needs to submit their own copy of their annotation. If you haven't attached anything in Google Classroom for today's assignment, you won't get credit for completing it. So please make sure that each of you individually submits an annotated copy of one of these portfolios, okay? I think that's it for now. I'll see you guys later.